Hey, what's up to my Facebook friends and YouTube friends? This is your man of wisdom, Starsky the Berry. Hey, I just want to shoot this little short little video to encourage you to just keep believing in God. You know, I've noticed in different people's lives that I'm connected to that all of us are going through some rough times. All of us are facing some uphill climbs. You know what I mean? And in this video, I just want to inspire you and give you some perspective on what should you be doing while you are waiting on the promise of God. See, one thing I realize about the promise of God, and it's just me talking, I have no notes. I'm coming to you straight out of my heart. Because in my life right now, God has promised me something. And the promise that God has said over my life is something that I didn't ask Him for. He just looked upon me and He blessed me with something that was in His own intentions. What do you do when God has decided to bless you with something, but you don't know the due date, you don't know the time that it's actually going to manifest in your life? See, many of us right now are waiting on something. And see, I'm talking to people who are not just waiting for a day or so, maybe 2 weeks for something to happen. I'm talking to the people right now who's been waiting for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years. You've been waiting on the promises of God to be manifested in your life, and it's still, after all this time, it's really no strong signs that God is going to fulfill what He said that He was going to do for your particular life. And today, while I was riding and I was out kind of working, I started to think, what should I be doing while God is fulfilling what He said He was going to do? Because I find out that most of the people that I'm talking to right now who are angry and disgruntled with God, and in your prayers you have this angry tone about, God, you said you was going to do this, or God, you said you was going to do that. The reason why you're angry is because you don't know the exact moment that God is going to do what He said He's going to do. And that wears on your trust, that wears on your faith. But see, listen, if you're going to stay strong in faith, if you're going to keep believing and trusting in God, you got to learn how to keep going about your life. Continue to build your life as if you're working as everything depends on you, but you're praying as if everything depends on God. What do I mean by that? See, many of you out there are still some goals. There are still some agendas that you personally have control of. There are some things in your finances, in your health, in your family state, in your career, that you have personal control over. While you're waiting on God to fulfill His word, just start doing the practical things in your life right now that makes you a better person, that lines you up with what God has already said He's going to do for your life. You know, the Bible says something that's very, very profound, and I've heard my mom say this to me when I was acting lazy. The Bible says that idle hands are the work of the devil, meaning that when people find themselves sitting on the curb of life, waiting on a promise, you find those type of people get themselves into depression, you get yourself into sin, you get yourself into a place where you don't feel good about who you are because of the actions that you're doing. And your actions are connected to, you're frustrated that, God, when are you going to do it? But what I found out in this thing called trust is that I don't have to know when God is going to do it. I just know He's going to do it. But while God is doing His part, it's my job to do the things that are in my control. It's my job to go to my workplace and present an attitude of humility and thanksgiving, have a great work ethic. It's my job to, as a person, to treat people with love and respect. It's my job that with my finances, stick to my budget, stick to the things that I can control. Because once the blessing happens, ask yourself this question, are you really going to be ready when rain comes? If we are not preparing the field, then when the rain comes, how big really the manifestation really is going to be if you don't even have the seeds already planted? So I want to encourage you. I really want to encourage you. I know you're frustrated. I know it's tiresome. I know you get weary. I know that you just get run down and deflated while waiting on things to happen. And to add insult to injury, it's even harder sometimes is when you get in the presence of God and the power of God is moving and you feel the glory, and then a few days later, you're back to how you was feeling at first. It seems like the glory don't always last as long as I think it personally should last. I think it should always feel like it's on me, but it's not always like that. But I don't want you to be in disagreement with God. I don't want you to be in distrust with God. See, God is going to do what he said he's going to do, but it's up to you to continue to build your life as if everything depends on you, but we're praying as if everything depends on God. I hope you got something for this. Please be encouraged. Keep believing. It's going to happen. I don't know when, you don't know when. But just because we don't know, don't mean that God is not going to do it. God bless you. This is your season. Hold on, because manifestation is coming. Bless you. Goodbye.